You're ready for the final shift, shift number 3. And this unlocks freedom. This is what I call the system shift. The system shift. Okay. So let's talk about this for a second. If you're doing everything manually, your business is stuck at your personal capacity, especially if you don't have any staff. But I hope don't solve the problem by hiring staff because that's not the solution either. I told this story the other day. I was in a conference and I was talking to a few people at a table at lunch, and I made a comment that I know a lot of credit professionals that had a lot more clients than me, like significantly a lot more clients than me. They may have even been charging a higher fee than me because my fee is very modest, but I was making a lot more money than them for two main reasons. One is that my retention was really high and theirs wasn't. So that made me a lot more money. But number two, and probably the most important, I had made systems, processes, and automation my core function of my business first before I ever hired someone. Where I found these people hired all the peoples, and some of them 40 employees. And I did that. I did that. That was part of one of the errors in business I did in the beginning is I thought if I hire more people, I can have more clients, I can do more business. And that was not the case. And one day I had a really good friend of mine. He's a multimillionaire to this day, but he taught me, he's like, hey, listen, I don't mow my lawn. I said, what do you do? He goes, I'll go out, I mow my lawn one time, and I videotape myself doing it. And then I ask if someone can do this job. And I don't cook my food because I do it one time, make a system out of it, and then I get someone hired to do it. The point is yes, he hired people to do the thing, but he didn't hire people until he created the system, right? And in a lot of our businesses, because of the nature of what we do, we can have systems, processes, and automations in place to the point we don't have to hire a lot of people. And I remember in business when I first had this idea, I need to hire so I can grow. I hired 4 people really fast. Okay. Before that, I had one core person. And really, she was all I needed all along. Okay. But I had hired 4 more people. The office is hustling and bustling. People were talking. There's a lot of side talk. People were sleeping at their desks. There was all that stuff going on. Okay. But one day after talking to this guy I just referred to, he was showing me how to put systems in place. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the software called Infusionsoft. I know Go High Level is the new program that most people use, but at the time Go High Level wasn't there and it was Infusionsoft. And he showed me how to put systems in place in Infusion. So I did that. I spent weekends and nights just creating the systems. And once I got them in place, I started using them. And one day I sent all my employees home. So I met with them in the morning, said, hey guys, you get the day off, paid day off. Go do your thing. Send them all home. I was able to, through my systems and automation, complete all of their work that they weren't completing in a day, by the way. One person, completed all their work in one day through systems and automation. The next day, I called them and told them they no longer had a job. So not, I know that sounds pretty mean, but the truth is that you have to be a business person and figure out how to structure business so you can make more money, have less chaos. Simple systems scale, complex systems don't, right? So I had made my business more complex by hiring 4 people who I had to babysit, who slept at their desk, who didn't show up on time, right? All these things. So before you ever hire, make sure you have your systems, processes, and automation in place. So if you're doing everything manually, your business is stuck at your personal capacity or those who you hire. Systems multiply results without multiplying stress. Okay. One of those employees I I kept and I fired him later because he would come in drunk all the time. And I had to go to court because I fired him and he filed for unemployment compensation. I had to go to court and he won because I didn't properly document that I made him leave and make him sign this document that he was drunk and I made him leave work because I didn't have the document. So you see what I'm saying? It causes a lot more stress. So again, systems and automation are first. So you don't need to hire 3 more people. You need better systems. Every time you repeat the same task twice, there's a system waiting to be built. Another way that I say that is if a client's asking a question, make sure you have a solution so they don't have to answer that question. You don't have to answer that question ever again, and your client doesn't have to have the question. Okay. And that's one thing that I really like about Level Up Score with the action plan, because once they get their update and they can see specifically what caused their score to go up or down, right? The red and green. They get to take ownership, number one, but they also don't have to ask you the question. You don't have to hear the question, why did my score go down? Clearly, they'll see that, right? So finding ways, and we've built so much into Level Up Score to do this for you. So that the clarity shift, the responsibility shift, and the second part, the system shift, a lot of that is built into Level Up Score because I knew how valuable it was for my business. And I know how I was able to drive my business and grow my business and scale my business and have less employees and make more money than most credit professionals out there, right? So this is something I want to gift to you. So think about that. Every time you repeat the same task twice, there's a system waiting to be built. Anytime your client has a question, there's a system waiting to be built. Okay. Your system should be visible to your clients. They should see that your business runs like a machine. They should know. They should see their journey. They should actually be able to refer someone to you and say, hey, you know what? One sentence. This is what she does. She will help you become mortgage ready so you can buy your dream home. And this is how she's going to do it. Step number one, you're going to get an onboarding call. Step number two, she's going to send you an action plan and a video on what you need to do and any questions that you might have. Step number three, every 30 days, you're going to get a new one. And it's going to show you what you've accomplished and what you haven't accomplished. You should have your system so transparent to your consumers that they can tell the person they're going to refer exactly what the process is going to look like. How beautiful is that? That takes all the weight off of you. You get a client, you don't have to describe that process, right? All right, so implementation. Here's something I'd like you to do. Automate the experience. So follow up reminders when clients haven't checked their action plan. So if you're using Level Up Score and you see in there that they haven't opened the action plan, you should have some type of follow up reminders in place to say, hey, I noticed you didn't check your action plan. Obviously, these are the steps and actions we need to take to get you to your goal. So I just want to check in with you and see if you're going to be able to look at that today, right? Or, how can we get together to make sure you look at that today? How can I help you with that? Should I text it to you? How should I do that? Okay. Because sometimes maybe they simply missed it because they were busy. Progress updates when steps are completed, and Level Up Score does that for you. So every 30 days, they're going to get a progress update, which shows what steps are completed, obviously congratulating them and letting them know if there's anything that maybe they messed up on, right? And congratulate messages that celebrate wins. Of course, Level Up Score does that. We congratulate them as they're taking those actions, but that's something you can also have a system in place for that. Like I said earlier, you see a person that had 10 action steps to take, and then next month they have 5. You might do a quick phone call. Hey, I just want to say, hey, you had 10 steps last month. You knocked out 5 steps. Girl, check you out. I just want to take a minute and just say, congratulations. Thank you for working so hard. If there's anything I can do to support you even more to get you to the finish line, let me know. I'm here for you. Our team is here for you, right? It's just a powerful message. And then number 2, you want to automate social proof. Trigger testimonial request after milestones, right? So I have a system in place that triggers that. I send out a 1-question survey. And the question is, have I earned a 5-star service? And if they say yes, then I automatically have another link that goes out to them to do a 5-star Google review for me, right? If they say no, I'll automatically send them a message that says, how can I earn this? And then they're going to get a phone call from one of my success coaches that says, hey, we got your survey and we realized we have not earned 5-star service review from you. So we want to check in with you and see what can we do today to make sure you have 5-star service with us. It's so very important, right? It's so powerful. So also use real results to attract ideal clients. We're talking about real results, not the 100-point increase, right? But how about they got the home? They got the keys in their hands, right? Because they took the actions to get there. So change the script. Okay. Automate monetization. So like with Level Up Score, for instance, we have built in affiliate stuff, right? So if the client needs a resource, we don't just throw every resource we have just because we got an affiliate link, right? That's not cool. But what we're doing is when we build that plan, when someone needs something, AKA, let's say they need a credit card, we're going to have the appropriate link there for them to get the credit card that they need because we don't want a client to have to search to do the things. You're the guide. You're supposed to give them the thing. For instance, if I'm in personal training and the person needs nutritional help, right? And I'm telling them what to eat, you best believe there's a link attached to that for what I think might be the best supplements for them. You guys have followed me. If you guys are following me on a millionaire's journey, you know that I talk about a certain supplement I take when I'm doing my fasting. You need to provide that to your people. It's important that they also know if they need to do something, where are they going to go and do that? So they're not searching and getting the wrong things, right? You are the trusted advisor, the trusted guide in the journey. But those are things that you can monetize on too. Your systems can literally generate more income while you sleep. While you sleep. Your client that's working a third shift, you don't have to be awake for that client working the third shift when they're ready to get off work and do the action plans. The action plan's already set up for them. They know what to do and they have the resources to do the things, right? It's so very important. Automate accountability. So weekly update emails summarizing what's done, what's next, or monthly. Please at least do monthly updates, please. I've heard so many people are like, hey, Allie, I send the level up score action plan right to the consumer right from the beginning, but I don't send them a new one until like 3 months later. Why? Why? Is that fair? Would you like that kind of update? You should, at the very least, they know their credit report updates every 30 days. Provide them that update every 30 days. They deserve that. That's your job. You're the guide. If you go into personal training and you ask for a plan and you ask me to train you, and then I'm like, oh, well, we'll do your measurements and check in on your progress in like 3 months. 3 months. Why? Why not in 30 days? Why not weekly check-ins? Right? So consider that. But you want to build in some automated accountability. Dashboards show progress in real time. So, in Level Up Score, the plan will show like, here was your scores last month. Here's your new scores. By the way, here's how many points you went up, right? So letting them see that in real time is really important. Here's my mind shift quote for you today. Every problem in your business is a system problem in disguise. Let me say that again. Every problem in your business is a system problem in disguise. So think about that. Sit down and think about the problems you're having in your business this weekend and see, is this a system problem? Maybe you don't even have a system. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is maybe you have a system, but you haven't done the feedback refine process, which you should be doing all the time. So consider this. You have a process. You should be interviewing the people who went through the process, your clients. Hey, how did that go? In this journey that you went through for this first 30 days, is there something I could have done better? Were there any questions? Or were you like feeling lost in anything? Were you confused about anything? Those are great learning opportunities to then take that home and say, how can I make this better? And you should be constantly doing that. Constantly. It can be random. You just call one client up and say, you're in the first 30 days. How did that process go for you? Anything we could do better? Was there any moment of confusion? Was there any moment you're like, I really have a question, but you were scared to ask me, right? How can I help make this better? How powerful is that in so many different ways? But it certainly will help you make that system even better and better and better. Okay, so we'll say that again. That's so important. Every problem in your business is a system problem in disguise. Okay, so I want you to just think about that. And the other one that I want to go back to, there's one other one. The same one I said earlier about if you have something you're doing twice, make a system for it, right? It's telling you. Yep, you're doing the same thing twice. It's telling you there's a system that should be in place or an automation that should be in place. And then if a client has a question, if you're constantly having to answer this question, that's a telltale sign there's a gap in your process or system or lack thereof, right? So thinking about that.